We cannot go on without talking about Sam Smith.
No, don't drag me down that road. No, Paddy, no. I don't even watch the news, no.
Yeah, what he is coming out with some of the things. But it, as you say, it'll probably, as they say in Dundalk, it'll peter out and it'll come as a singer, not as a bin bag. Now, if you have just joined us on the Salvation Show, I'm Paddy Mack, and our guest today is the lovely, very talented, but that's enough about me, but no, the very talented and the lovely Mary Gantley. Mary, you're very welcome.
Thanks for having me, Paddy.
Yeah,
and
we were talking there about different microphones, about using the headsets and all that. Yeah. But would you not be scared? Because I know that radio mics, I know that I have a set of radio mics and we were using them one night, and because we're on Park Street here, if a taxi passes, it'll come across.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, that happened with my headset.
Oh yeah, once it's radio.
Oh, I never
It's like it's connected to a box, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but once it's lying out in the air, as they say.
That's gas. I never thought of that.
It's great when you're going like sometimes late at night, taxi for movie. I don't know, it does happen. Or sometimes you get the cars as well.
Well, I've used it now maybe 3 or 4 times, and the first 2 times I was lucky enough because the venues that I went to, they had their own in-house PA system. Yeah. So it wasn't equipment I was used to. So that was like throwing me in at the deep end, you know?
It is.
So when I wired it, which was good for me. So when I wired it up, then I was like, right, whatever this system brings, it brings. And it was great. Then the next system, totally different system again. And I loved it. And then I got to do it with my own system. And it was grand as well. That's so now the first time I was using it, I was very nervous and panicked. But it's like everything out. Like when I went out gigging on my own about 18 years ago, I had to get one of my friends to literally draw out on a piece of paper, this lead goes in here, because there was no screenshotting on the phones. No, you know, you couldn't screenshot stuff on the phone. And we were drawing diagrams or whatever. And the very first, I was so panicked about this gig because I was bringing in my own gear, setting it up myself, because usually I was gigging 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, and setting it up, and 10 minutes, Paddy, I'm not joking, my head was splitting, nothing coming off me. I forgot to turn the on switch on the socket on the wall, but everything was grand. But it's like that the first time you use that, and no matter how long you're in the game. But
it's a lot. Now I'm in the game a wee bit longer than you, but
only just 3 years or so,
maybe a few months. But in my days, to say, and a lot of musicians will notice that nowadays when you put up your desk, you have everything in it, your effects, the whole lot.
Bluetooth. It's even Bluetooth. You can actually,
you can have anything.
I say I can actually record my whole gig on a thing now. I'm no good at technology, and I don't even go near it. But there's everything on it.
We were the same. Now on the other end of it, I use a monitor.
Yeah.
So you have everything set there. So a lead's going from the monitor to the desk.
Yeah.
Then your mics and whatever units you're using. Yeah. Then when you switch it on and you just push up your reverb or echo, whatever, that's grand. In my day, you arrived with a Carlsberg amp, not a desk, an amp.
Yeah.
A copycat echo on top of it.
Okay.
And that all connected. And then sometimes you'd see two heads. You'd have a Carlsberg head and a H&H head.
Right.
And the H&H head was connected to the Carlsberg, connected to the copycat, and then connected to another speaker laying on the ground. And it was all connected into one. But now and that was only, at that time, we were only using 300 watts. That was it. I don't know how we done it.
Camille, did you ever use the mini discs? The mini disc players?
Yeah. But they're very good.
And do you remember the floppy discs that you used to put into the Gem 2 keyboards?
Yeah.
There's people who didn't even have keyboard players in the bands bringing the Gem keyboards and putting the discs into them.
I have one at home. I have a Korg i5M.
Right.
It's a MIDI. Now, you can put it to any piano. You can buy a cheap piano and MIDI it into the piano. Yeah. And the brains of the Korg becomes the brains of the piano.
Oh, very good.
So it's fantastic. I don't play piano, but it's nice to know that they could sell it. But it has a floppy disk in it. But there was a lot of it, a lot of things. I remember years ago on a flat tape recorder, recorded myself playing a song, Rhythm.
Talking about that,
Yeah.
my very first singing gig, because I had been doing classical music the whole time. Okay. So then at 19, I had to go gigging real quick. I literally got a phone call one Friday morning. Mary, will you sing with a band in the Clean House in Ballyfermot? And I needed the few bob. I said, yeah. There was only 10 songs I had to learn. So she wrote out the list of 10 songs. I was ringing LMFM and saying, could you play Simply the Best, Tina Turner, please? And recording it on the cassette tape. Do you remember? You could record it, right?
Yeah.
So then I got all the 10 songs because I'd never sang them before. So I was listening to them in the kitchen all day. And lucky enough, me car had a tape player in the car and I was listening to them going up the road. But that's how I learned the 10 songs for the first singing gig.
It's so simple nowadays, you know, like if I have to do a song here on a Saturday night, I would get the lyrics of it.
Same with the laptop. The programs we have now is great. Like even if you only know the air of the song and somebody says to you, can you sing whatever? And you know the air of it now with the lyrics. It's great. You have the lyrics on the string.
But in my day, you had to do what you do on the tape recorder, and it was always the wrong lyrics.
I remember doing a mass. And 10 minutes before the mass, somebody come up and says, Mary, me auntie loves such and such a song and we never thought of asking you to sing it. And I had an envelope in my handbag. I rang one of my friends who's only got a new computer and was all into this computer. I had no computers or anything. And lucky enough, I got him on the phone. I said to him, will you look up the words of whatever? So here he is calling out the words and I'm writing them on the back of an envelope. And here I am singing it at the mass, you know.
But
we got through it, didn't we, though?
Those things, like in my day, there was, you put on the tape and you stopped it and you thought, yeah, that's it. And you write it down, you go back and again, back and forward. But it always ended up the wrong words.
I was just going to tell you about that. So Shakira, you remember wherever. And so I'm singing it away, thinking I'm great, you know, from listening to it and writing out the words. And then I went on a holiday and I said, sure, I'll get up and sing a song karaoke, Shakira. I'm looking at the words at the screen going, what?
Completely different.
What was I singing?
Anyway, Mary Gantley, singer, songwriter, piano player. Do you play any other instrument?
Well, piano, accordion, chachag. I mean, I was challenged one time to back up the Lonesome Boatman on a guitar on a holiday. I had one night to get ready and I did it. And it was grand. But I put the guitar down and never went again, you know. I also got a end of a banjo before for a week and I come back playing, you know, but that's the only one I can play. I can't remember it now. The banjo's gone.
Banjos.
Yeah.
Listen, tell me about Mary Gantley.
Well, I have a lot of exciting news. Yesterday I was down in Cork with Hot Country Studios and I was recording the clips for my first 4 TV shows.
Oh, never mind you.
No, where would you go? So that's very exciting. Then we have the award shows coming up the 4th of April.
Which is this one here.
Yeah, in the Hillgrove in Monaghan.
And congratulations, you've received an award.
Best New Singer-Songwriter. Yeah, madness. Good madness. And the TV show is starting the 3rd of April and it'll run every Monday night for 4 weeks.
Is that on Sky?
Yeah, Sky 181 and at Channel 7, the free to air. And then if you have the Hot Country app, you can watch it.
Yeah.
And then my new EP is going to be released on the 21st of April, which is an EP of 5 songs and it's called I Could Listen, which is the title track. It's an original. And then I did 4 covers. I did a cover of Born in Love like you never heard before, Paddy. You're going to love it.
Oh, I have to hear that.
And Charlie Arkins come over and put fiddle and harmonica on it. Brilliant. And then I did Go Rest High on the Mountain, you know, Vince Gill's song. Charlie's on that as well. And then I did 2 piano covers of Good Golly Miss Molly. And Let's Have a Party, you know, Wanda Jackson. Yeah. Yeah. So it's exciting.
You're smiling, you're excited about it.
Oh, yeah. They turned out really well. And Fran and Eric in Abbey Lane Studio, we had a great laugh doing it. Yeah.
And tell me this, musician, I know that your brother Paul is a musician.
Yeah.
Was it in the family? Did music in the family?
Oh, you see, our house would have been the kind of house where you'd play a game of cards and you'd sing songs and it wasn't television. You know, we wouldn't be television people, and we're like in the good weather, you'd be down in the woods, whatever. But even if we were going on a car journey, like Mammy, she'd sing the whole way in the car down, and just throw harmony on that or whatever. It was always music.
Was your mum and dad a musician or just?
They were good at singing and that, but never really into it. The way it went was on my father's side, my granny, she used to play the accordion, but she'd come down when everybody was in bed and play the accordion. And then on my mother's side, my granddad Joe, same thing, he would play the fiddle in the shed. They were shy about it, but they were good into
like
it.
you, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and it all stemmed from them. So it's in the blood, like.
It's in the blood, but they got us, like, when we were younger, there was always music instruments bought for us for Christmas, Santa and whatever as well. And they put us into music lessons at young ages, you know. Never forced us to go. It was only if we wanted to or whatever. Sure, I was eating it. Like, I couldn't wait to go to a music lesson. And every time I went in, David Lynch in the Buying School of Music, I started off actually playing a Wurlitzer organ. Do you remember them?
Oh, I remember
the two and the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I loved that. I remember playing Obla Dee Obla Da and the feet was going mad, and I loved it real small. I thought it was so cool. And then he says to me, learn the accordion. So I learned the accordion, and then he says, learn the piano, and then he wants to get me up the road to Dublin to the academy. He was brilliant with me. And then I started in the academy, classical music. I got in on scholarship when I was about 11. And that was all classical music. But at the time, accordion wasn't recognised as an instrument in the academy. So it was just piano and church organ. But when I was leaving the academy at 19, an accordion player won the big classical musician competition, you know, Young Musician of the Future. So now accordion is very much recognised as an instrument.
Now it is.
In the academy, and which is brilliant. Because the accordion was was actually my favourite instrument at the time.
Yeah, I remember people saying, who's the best accordion player in the band? It's the guy that leaves it in his case.
That's awful.
No, but now you're looking at them all. They're all playing it.
Oh,
like the
it's
button
great.
accordion.
Yeah. No, I don't play the buttons. Well, I play the buttons on the left hand of the piano accordion. But you know, the buttons accordion are totally different. When you pull the bellows out, they change semitone. You know, the one note is a different note, like a semitone. Whereas on the piano accordion, if you hit a C and you pull the bellows out or in, it's the same note. Yeah. Same with your left hand. The left hand is like your accompaniment, and it doesn't change. If you're hitting a C, you're hitting a C. But with the button accordions, it's different. They change semitones.
Yeah, I remember us talking there about nowadays there's so many things you can get. And when you mentioned the Wurlitzer, there was a guy who used to play here in Dundalk on guitar, singing, and the bass line was on. Pedals on his feet.
The one-man band.
You know, and I don't think he could drink. You know, I think he played the whole night without a drink, but he made up for it at the end of the night. And he was moving his feet on the bass notes.
That's silly.
Yeah, I get hard to use my fingers. But anyway, you went on, progressed on to the accordion.
So accordion, then went up the road to the Academy of Music, and when I was there, I did like classical piano and church organ, and theory lessons were separate, and there was musicianship lessons as well. I got my qualifier to teach when I was 18. I could have got it younger, but you had to be 18 to say it. I won scholarships to different places around the world, like Vienna and Russia, but I never took them. And actually, Christopher Elson came over from London. I was only maybe 12 or 13, and he gave a masterclass. So what the masterclass was, I played my pieces for him on the stage, but he'd stop me in front of an audience, and he'd say, "That's good." He was a very nice man, "but I'd like you to do it this way." And on the spot, you'd have to correct it in front of the audience. So you were getting taught in front of a live audience. Like, so you learned the music from a book, but you threw the book away, so you were performing with no book. So it's not as if you could say to you, start at bar number 12 or whatever. You had to know it in your head. But I loved it, and it was grand. And he wanted to bring me over to the Academy of Music in London. I was only 12, and he was putting me in accommodation and like schooling me. There was like normal school and music school, but I wouldn't leave Mum. And my mother was saying, "No, Mary, go. You can't be saying no all the time." And Vienna, same. I said no. I was 13 or 14. Russia said no. And Mammy wasn't even sick at the time. I'm glad now I did say no, because, you know, I hadn't got Mammy long. Got Mammy long, but I was real homeboard and I didn't go. But it's just... like, I loved music that much. I ate it, you know what I mean? Any kind of classical music. But then, like, when I left it then, when I was 19, then I'm like singing in bands, and I loved that. And I love like Tina Turner. Plus, before I went to the academy, David Lynch used to bring me to the Kyoto Tories with the accordion.
Yeah.
And I used to go around playing all the traditional music with them.
You always roll the ball.
Yeah. And but you know, I had the big, massive accordion, you know, with the big bass one.
Bass one, yeah.
So you couldn't see me. They used to have to strap it on me back.
All you can see is hands and 2 feet.
Yeah. They used to have to carry it up and put it on me and strap it on me back, you know, when I was sitting in a chair. But I never thought anything of it. And then just went gigging in bands. Then I played piano in a Meatloaf tribute band for a year. I loved that because the fella that wrote the music for that is Jim Steinman. He's a classical guy. So I enjoyed learning the music for that,
and,
you know.
And do you read music?
Oh, yeah. And actually, sight reading was a big thing in our training, where you got a piece of music you never saw before. There was competitions for it and everything. So you'd never seen this piece of music before, and they'd just put it up on the piano. You never got to practice it or anything. And they'd say, you just have a quick look at that there. So you'd have to see is the sharps or flats in it, what time signature it was. You know, did they put accent in his head, we're going to try and trick you, whatever. And you had to play it first go.
As you can see it.
Yeah, so that for me, like, is not, because I was doing it from such a young age, that's not hard for me. Like, there was one time in the Augustinian, I was backing up the orchestra for Helen Leahy, and that was grand. She'd give me the music and we'd rehearse and whatever, the music. But then she turned around to me 5 minutes before the thing and she goes, would you play the piano for the trio? And she just gave me the music. I'd never seen the music before. And it was a concert, like, and I was saying, wow. And I hadn't done this in years. Bear in mind, if I was a teenager, it would have been no bother to me. But when you're older, you're more aware of what you're at, you know? Yeah. And so I was like, well, I'll give it a go, you know? But it went grand, you know? So I'm lucky that way. Most of the time I can sight read.
Yeah, but you're a big busker as well. Like,
no.
Are you not?
No, I'm getting better. But that's where I would be nervous. Like, let's say if you said to me, Mary, get up here and play the Wild Rover with me. If I hadn't learnt that from reading it first, because I'm used to doing that and throwing it away, I would be so nervous on the stage. Which stage would you going like G, D, A? I'd be so nervous.
No,
because I'm not used to that, but it's only because I'm not used to it.
Yeah, we're the sort of one. Well, I can't read music, you know. But
that's brilliant. You have a brilliant ear.
Yeah, you pick it up. You pick it up very easy.
Yeah.
There's a few friends of mine that are unbelievable at it.
Yeah.
Like when they come up, they say she's an A.
I know. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it just goes along with the song.
Yeah.
And I think it's when you listen to a section of it, as you know yourself, there's that section in the verse, and then you have a different section in the chorus.
Yeah.
And it's the same through the whole song when you think about it.
Yeah, but you know what's really strange for me, right? Let's say we did all these exams as well, training, where let's say a piano was on a stage and a piano player and you were way down in the hall, but you're sitting that you can't see what the piano player was doing. It's too far away anyway.
Yeah.
And you're given a sheet of manuscript and they're going to play something that you've never heard before. And you have to write it out by your ear. So I could write it out by your ear and get full marks in that. But ask me to sit with a band and busk.
Isn't that incredible?
Isn't it mad?
My God.
Or even, right, if they gave me a piece of music and they say it was in the key of C and it's written in the key of C and I'm reading it in the key of C and they say to me, Mary, play that in E flat. So I would be able to transpose it on sight. Well, I used to be really able to do it, but I'd have to practice it again, yeah. But see, if you said to me, let's say I'd learned something to sing in the key of C, Song for Ireland. And you said to me, Mary, come on, we'll do it in the key of E flat.
Good.
If I have the music in front of me.
Yeah, but what I would do if someone was singing in the key of C, and they said that, listen, I'm going to do that tomorrow night, but it's E flat.
You'd +3.
I would sit at home playing it on a bass line.
Yeah.
In C.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to E flat and I'd walk to it and I'd write it down.
That's what I mean. If I had the chance to write it out, like I'd write it out, no bother. Probably write it out without an instrument. But if it was written in front of me, I'd have no bother. It's just the way you're trained to do. You know, it's the way you train yourself as well, you know. And
I'm sure you get the thing that when you have singers coming up and they turn around, they say, it's in C, say grand. And you hit a C and then they sing in E or G.
And you're hitting out the melody, you know.
Going, ding, ding,
then you start singing along.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, they say, you don't really know it, do you?
And you're like, no, you're right there. I must go home and learn it.
Yeah. I remember one night I was with a band, this girl got up to sing with us. I think it was at a wedding.
Yeah.
And she sang Shania Twain.
Right, lovely.
And of course, we knew the song. It's just a matter of getting the key.
Yeah.
And every time that we were trying to look for the key, she kept turning around, making faces at us as if to say, "You're shite."
Oh, God.
You know? And we were saying, because every time we got, you know, when
You just
looking
hit
for the
me,
key,
yeah.
And every time we hit that note, she
went off on another one, yeah. I know.
Oh, I'll never forget.
See, some people get so nervous, don't
do,
they?
yeah.
A lot of that is just nerves, isn't
I remember the music. We were doing a wedding one time, and the music came down to the house, and there was two of us in the band, two that played and the drum,
Right.
and the music. There's a girl coming up to sing this song, and we just said we know it, so we learned it.
Yeah.
And we put the music in front of us, and
Yeah.
one came up, and we hit it, and we played it the whole way through. And I just hadn't the heart to tell her, that she was shite. But it was lovely music. Oh, you get lucky, you get a lot of people like that. But now, with a lot of things, as you know, things have gone since the pandemic. Including myself, we have to use backing tracks.
Yeah, we do. And do you know what I found as well? Like before the pandemic, when people were getting up to sing the songs, whatever, and you were giving them your mic and everything else, and you never mind. And because I'd be the kind of, if somebody's getting up, saying, I bump up their microphone, you try to make them sound as good as you can, and now you're like, I can't give you my mic.
Yeah.
Do you find like you're doing that now?
I do it, but you see, with places like here and that in the backing tracks, you don't get many people up anymore.
Do you know?
There might be the odd one that might come up, or you might have a girl run up, I love this song, can I sing it with you? So you just stand well away from the mic and let them sing.
Yeah. Well, I'm setting up a spare mic now, so I can just...
Yeah, well, I have radio mics, I think...
Yeah, you have a go.
Yeah. Definitely should.
What's the most nervous you've ever been performing?
This.
The most nervous I've ever been performing... Well, actually, Tommy Keys did a live... He does a show for singer-songwriters once in Darky Kelly's every Tuesday night. And I haven't played a piano on a stage in front of people in over 20 years since the Meatloaf Band, because I've only been gigging with my tracks, So he invited me up to play and sing with no tracks or anything, just pure raw live, 3 songs that I wrote myself. And he was live streaming 2 of them. And I was delighted with the invitation because I wanted to get back out there I was going to have to do something, so I was really nervous that night. My left hand was wobbling away, but I kept smiling. And
You're not getting all dry.
No, it was okay. It was just I was focused on, why can I not steady my left hand? Can everybody see this? But luckily enough, you couldn't see it. And you couldn't really see the camera was on my left hand for like a split second, but I was looking out for it, so I know whatever. But getting the notes down and the hand wobbling wasn't very easy. But I did the 3 songs. I was really proud of myself because I knew I was going to be nervous the first time. And then at the end of the night, you get up and you can busk a cover with the band. They put a full band together. It's like a jam. And I did Great Balls of Fire, and it wasn't bothering me, and I really enjoyed that. So then the next time that I went to play live was in McHugh's last Thursday. And I got to meet Rob Strong. He's a gent.
Yeah, gentleman.
Yeah, and what a musician. And I was playing Great Balls of Fire with the Ben Steele Band, and there wasn't a bother on me either. So the Tommy Keys was a great experience for me.
Yeah, it does,
And fair play to my family. Now, he has me booked in again near the end of April. And I'm going to go up and do another 3 songs off my album,
That's good. That's very good. Well, it's exposure, isn't it?
It is, but it is that because I really love music and enjoy it. And like yourself, Paddy, as confident and all as you may seem to everybody, you do fight little demons. Everybody has their own little demons going on in their head. And,
do you still have stage fright?
That's the saying. It's just a matter of getting stuck in and keep doing it, don't you? Yeah. You just have to keep doing it.
I think it's the part of it anyway. Like when everybody go, I'm not going to say this because they'll be here looking at me on Saturday night. But there is that sort of element, that you say, right, here we go.
Yeah.
And once you get that first song over,
you're grand.
You're away,
That's it. Like, and actually, a bit of nerves is all right. And the way you'd be the whole time saying to yourself, listen, you love your music and whatever, and it has to come out of you because it's inside you. And, and you're not going to please everybody. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, but the people that you do please and whatever, they're such lovely to be around, and it's great. And it's great that you're having them, like, because music is a healer. The amount of times people come up to you at the end of the gig saying, "Do you know what, Mary? I wasn't even going to stay tonight, and you just cheered me right up. I had a great night." Like, that means the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's your purpose, really, isn't it? But as you said, like, I to keep focusing on stuff like that when I am feeling nervous about something. And you said second or third song in, you're grand. You're grand.
You see, it's sometimes as well, people always say to you, why do you start off with that song?
Oh, it's to get the sound levels and see how your vocals are.
Yeah, and to make, it's just you're so used to it.
Yeah. Like my one is Hey Ho the Lumineers, you know, I'm in love with you. I just find that a great song to kind of open the voice, see how my sound levels are, and then everybody's chilled out, you know.
Yeah, I'm the same. I usually take it easy. I usually start with that just to get the vocal level. And it's good. Yeah.
You didn't catch that one, Paddy? No.
Duet.
We were thinking of it. We'll have to, you know what we're going to have to get off, and I'm being asked about this every week here. And I said, no, it has to be done with a girl. Islands in the Stream.
I knew you were going to say that.
We're going to have to get that out, and we'll do it here.
We will. And actually, I was going to come down and, you know, because I'm playing the piano at the after party at the Hot Country as well. There's an after party at the awards. So I was going to see if I could come down just before you started with my piano and just do three or four of the songs just to run through it, if that's okay. And then we could do Islands in the Stream.
You could do it. Yeah, but you're good at it. And tell me, what about you getting awards and everything? You do write a lot of songs.
I do write a lot of songs. And you know something, Paddy? I went in to write a song for my friend Anthony. You know this. I told you this. Amy Street's #1. And I was only going to record that song. And when I did that, then I was like, I love this. Because I could put on a cello sound and arrange stuff for violin because, you know, through the keyboards. And I was like, God, I'd love to be here all the time. And then I said to lads, you know what? I'll come back down. And then the songs just come out, end up doing the album. Yeah. Then it's doing really, really well. And before my launch gig, I wanted to do another EP. I have an EP coming out now soon. I want to do another EP again. And then maybe launch the album and the 2 EPs. Because, you know, just to have a first.
I remember every morning you were tuned in. Yeah. And you'd say, I have to go and go in the studio. And that was every day.
I know.
And
you were raging because I was great at slagging you.
Yeah, we would slag each other on Facebook and all this. But and I know that Sean McEnany, the Sean in Alvaro, they couldn't be here today. But Sean, every time the Sean picks me up on a Sunday, you're on in this car.
Oh,
he just loves that album.
Oh, Sean, thank you.
And he's mad that he missed today. And he just plays it all. And there's one song in particular that's very popular on the Good Morning Dundalk. Is the one you wrote about the chair.
The empty chair.
That's about your mum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your mum passed away.
And actually, and it is very much about Mammy. I nursed her, you know, for the 6 months. And she would have loved, she lived in the woods, you know, so the second verse, I saw you walking in a meadow. Favourite thing.
But it's and it just doesn't mean, I know it was written for your mum, but it means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, and because I sing, you know, since I was very young, I've been playing and singing at funerals, 10, 11 years of age. And I sing at a lot of funerals belong to people that I would have known, you know, and so it's for everybody, really. It
is, it's a very poignant song. But we're going to talk about Paul.
Rambo, aka Rambo.
And Paul, now we just better explain to people, Paul is a spina bifida
hydrocephalus since birth. He has had so many times in life where, you know, he was given 24 hours and pulled through them all. That's why we call him Rambo, obviously. And then he got a kidney transplant in 2015. They said they weren't going to be able to get him a kidney, and he was on dialysis for 5 years. And then he got the kidney transplant, and they got the kidney, thanks for God. And I know somebody had to pass away to do that. So God love the family there. And then, but like they said that, you know, they didn't know how the operation was going to go. And he was home in 10 days, not a bother on him. He's such a warrior, like.
And then he produces this album.
Come here, I tell you, the likes.
Unbelievable.
I'm even going to tell you now. Here's me. Or like, I'd have to catch myself on, because I'd be in the studio all day and then I'd go teach that. Oh, I'm exhausted. You want to see the effort Rambo had to put into getting into the studio in the first place, to be well enough to go to the studio. And it took nearly 6 years between COVID and everything, and illnesses and everything, for him to get his album done, and he stuck it out.
Yeah, and he wrote all the songs.
He wrote, and not only did he write all the songs, now I'm in the studio with him, I was singing the songs. Eric Sharp is there, Fabric Down was there. We've been gigging all our lives. And if we were to turn around like to Rambo and say, Rambo, would you not do X, Y, and Z? No. And you know something, when it was finished, we were all like, no, he was right. It was great. Like, it's some album there.
Now the album, just to explain to people, I'm sure a lot of people have it, but it's called The Wheels.
The Wheels are no big deal.
And what it is, it's of course it's about his disability and all that. But he's an unbelievable player and a great songwriter. You sang all the songs for him.
Yeah. And
it was the album of the week on Good Morning Dundalk, as well as your own. Yeah. But unbelievable songs.
Come here. Do you know the way we were talking about ear, playing by ear?
Yeah.
That's the lad there now. He worked in the sound shop for a while. And let's say somebody came in and they were playing a song. Do you know the one, Journey, Don't Stop Believing?
Yeah, Don't Stop Believing.
So there was somebody playing Journey, Don't Stop Believing. They were going to be playing it at McPhail's that night. And he was straight over and he says, come here to me. You have two of them cards wrong. And he picked out the cards. Yeah. I showed him. And he was right. Yeah. And there's another man, he always tells the story about, I was playing that song all my life, thinking I was 110%, until Rambo come over and says, no, come here, that's the seventh. And he actually said, little fucker was right. You know. But that's the thing. See, even with me when I was younger, let's say I got like an exercise to do coming home where you were given a bass line or a melody and you had to put it into 4-part harmony. You know. So I'd know all the rules, 5B, chord progressions, whatever. Theory. And I'm sitting there with the pencil pen. And then I'd play it on the piano, the 4-part harmony, thinking, oh great, I got all my rules right. And he'd come in 3 years younger than me, right? 9 or 10. And he'd say, the middle one needs to go up one step, or the top one. Now, he wouldn't know the terminology, but I'd say, the top one needs to come down. And Mammy would say to me, just do it for the crack to see. I was coming home with A+. Wow.
It's great.
And I was finding chord progressions we hadn't been taught yet, just from him listening. And he could hear a song there on the radio and just pick it out.
Isn't that incredible? And an incredible album, if you do get a chance, if you're all out there.
But
it's
not
The Wheels are The Wheels are no big deal. I'll tell you what I love about it. The cover has a piano with wheelchair wheels on it.
My son, actually, he designed, just drew a rough sketch. And then David D. Moore did the artwork for us for the album. So he put it on the piano or whatever, but see with Rambo, he's so positive.
Very.
So positive.
Like you were saying it, that we complain about nothing
the
every
littlest
day.
Things. You want to see
what he went through.
His daily chores alone.
Yeah.
He has to be at a certain time, take tablets, he has to eat certain food. He doesn't, it's takeaways don't happen. No. They can't, and just the certain foods he can't eat or whatever, but it never bothers him and he never complains,
That's what us, we complain about everything.
Absolutely. Well, you never stop, Paddy. You're always whinging.
But we're complaining about a little bit of stage fright at the start.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
But that's what I mean,
Oh, come here. He did a gig in the gallery in Drogheda, the Arts Gallery.
Yeah.
And the day before, I says to him, come on, I says, we'll set up. Because he was singing himself, because this was disabled people showing, their ability. Yeah. So I wasn't going to sing the songs. He didn't need me to. I said, you sing it yourself. So set up the mic and the whole lot and whatever. And come on, I said, give it a bit of a practice or whatever. Didn't take a feather out of him. It wasn't a bother him. He did a great job. Where I would be at home there the night before practicing away. You know what I mean? Yeah. To a T, not sleeping. Didn't take a feather out.
There's a great video of him on RTE,
Oh, but Wait till I tell you about
Marty
this.
Whelan, wasn't it?
He wasn't meant to be interviewed. He was only going up to play the song and Denise was singing it. And Marty got talking to him before he went on. And Marty says, I don't care what's going on. You have to make 10 minutes in the show for me to interview this fella. The two of them had it great.
Oh, yeah,
It was a great interview.
He was very young then.
21.
21. God,
21.
unbelievable.
Yeah, 21.
So tell me what the future has for Mary Gantley.
God only knows.
Is that it?
No, I said to Chris, you know, like Chris here, remember I was saying it to you earlier. That when I put the CD out, I said it was the first time I did anything like this. I said, just put the songs out and see what happens. Which it just took off, but the likes of yourself supporting us so well. Like, you're so good at supporting independent artists. You're like, bring it on, Mary. Bring it on. Say it again.
What did you say there?
Scratch my ears. And no, you're great. And just everything took off. And then Hot Country TV got involved in everything, which is brilliant. And then I was, you know, the TV show was happening, the awards ceremony. It just took off. So as I said, if you get thrown the football, you just run with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just keep going. So, and I'm saying to everything. So, and I'm enjoying every little thing.
But it's something you're into, you know. If you weren't into it and it was coming up, if you're only starting,
I love
you
music.
get very nervous about it. But every day you seem to, something
It's
new
getting
comes along,
easier.
but you love it.
And you know, like, the more people you meet through music that are so lovely and, you know, and real professional and everything, it just makes you calm,
It does, yeah.
you know?
And they say that it's the language of the world.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how to whistle.
Well, come here. I often went on a holiday on my own. No. And the minute I got up and sang with a band or whatever, sure, you made friends.
Straight away.
Straight away. Italian people, Hungarian people, and the language barrier was there, but we were able to communicate.
Of course, you can communicate with song.
Yeah, and then they'd say, stay
Often
on
hear
the
the
same.
song, I have to say I love you in a song. You know, everything is in a song.
Yeah.
You know.
It is. It's a universal language, big time.
And you're going an award ceremony.
Come here, I'll tell you. So I had to get, you know, everybody's been so lovely and supportive. So there's 4 main sponsors for the TV show. So the local shop in Tullyallen is sponsoring me.
Lovely.
Hubert Tully's clothes shop. I want to come back to that. That's such a laugh. They're sponsoring me. The Milestone in Balbriggan, a pub that I gig in, are sponsoring me, and Abbey Lane Studio sponsor me, and then there's people sponsor me for advertisements as well, which is so nice. Like, I'm getting so much support. But getting back to the girls and Tullies, because I needed 4 outfits.
4. I just said
the
4.
number 4.
That too.
4.
Right, the number 4 outfits for one for each different show. We had such a laugh down in Tully's shop getting the clothes together, even when the women were coming in and I was running around in one sock. You know what I mean? Trying to grab it, but they're so nice down there, so they had me all kitted up.
But isn't it great the support that comes to you? You know, and
it's lovely.
It's all for good. I know they're going to get a lot of publicity out of it and all this, but it's all for good. You know, it all comes from the heart.
That's it. And like, you should go, I'd never be a woman to ask anybody for anything, but you know, when you're doing these shows, it's kind of like an official thing. You need to ask for advertisement and sponsorship. So I was really like, listen, there's no pressure, you know, because I'm not going to ask. There's no pressure. It's only if you want to, whatever.
Yeah, only if you want to. Measuring tape.
No, but like, everybody's been so good, you know.
Yeah, it's great.
So good, yeah.
It was the same with ourselves, the Long Riders. We done an album, Lord Rest Jean, for the hospice.
Yeah.
And we done the same. We asked the pubs and different people.
Yeah.
And we did. They all come in.
Yeah.
And went to the lunch tonight. And they all paid. It didn't cost us anything.
I know.
You know, it was
you just
so
raised
good.
loads that time, didn't you?
Yeah, we did about 10 grand.
Yeah, you were telling me. Yeah. You gave me that CD, actually. I have that CD.
It's great for keeping the kids away from the stereo.
I know, it's really good. I love the version of the Creedence Clearwater is brilliant.
Yeah,
that sticks out in my mind. I love
There's
it.
a bit of fun in that. I actually do it here of a Saturday night.
Do you?
It's great response to it, because like when you think about it, that was released in the 60s.
It's some song.
And everybody sings it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that song.
But the music in the 60s is great. Like, even, you know, like even Janis Joplin, you know, or what's her name? Janis, am I saying the right name?
Yeah, Joplin.
Another little piece of my heart. That was 69.
Yeah, you know. Incredible. And like, there's ones The House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Brown Eyed Girl. That was 60s Van Morrison.
Brilliant. Like,
You know,
the
and
music of the
it's-
60s was great.
You know, you probably noticed yourself, and no offence, we're not old or anything like that, but the music where we are, but the music nowadays, it's not. I don't think it's music. I don't know what it is.
It's too processed.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It is, even though it is very processed or whatever else, if you listen to, like, to the cover, even some of the rap songs, right? Like, I'd be able to pick out a couple of classical tunes out of them.
Yeah.
Now, and an awful lot of these people that, you know, you wouldn't be thinking too much of these music, they're very educated in music.
Oh, yes.
Even
yeah.
like, you know, so the rap artists, the breathing, the beats, that's very complicated.
The same here in the South.
Yeah.
The breeding.
I only know the odd rap, you know. I
do
see you,
rap,
baby.
Oh, I know.
I will tell you that I love you, kiss or hug you, because I'm bluffing with my muffin.
Oh, I love country music.
I know. I suppose it's Lady Gaga. She has a couple of country kind of things.
No,
going on.
I have to say it.
Say it.
She is an unbelievable singer. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Singer. Now, I love listening to male and female singers with good voices. Like, I love Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck. There's a lot of other fellas like Vince Hill. Not
yeah.
Vince Gill, but Vince Hill.
yeah.
And Vince Gill himself.
Yeah.
But a lot of great voices.
Yeah.
I love listening to all those. But when she came out, she was very strange. As
Yeah.
You know. And in fact, today, on the 22nd of March 2009, she was number 1 in the charts.
He's just an encyclopedia of this
with
stuff.
Poker Face.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I'm just after saying.
I remember that coming out when I was in school. It was a huge hit.
Yeah,
Huge
so do
hit.
I. I was in school too.
Yeah.
But I remember the only reason I did that was I played it this morning and said it. But
That's mad the way I just come out with that.
yeah,
It is.
Is
yeah,
it?
she
No.
sang
God.
with Tony Bennett.
Really?
The Lady is a Tramp. Oh my God, what a
Yeah.
voice.
Is it? I never heard this.
Oh, fabulous. Yeah, you should look it up. Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga.
Okay.
It's on his album, Duets.
Right.
He does it with Katie Lang and Amy Winehouse. He does a lot of them on.
Oh, bro.
But she then sang the best White Christmas I've ever heard.
Are you serious?
She's just sitting on a stool with a couple of musicians around her, and she sings it. It's fabulous,
Yeah.
fabulous. But what a voice, you know. There's a voice behind it. You see an awful lot of all these artists that are singing and coming out with their microphone, nothing to do with you around.
Yeah.
And some of it has to be dubbed.
Come here, do you see the way you said in the beginning when Lady Gaga came out?
Yeah.
You know, do you think that like when musicians get themselves established that you see the real them
yeah.
and the real talent kind of comes out more?
I
think a lot of the time when people are getting started, there's gimmicks added, and maybe I'm wrong and stuff just to try and attract a bit of highlight to them, and then
Lady
when they
Gaga
get
coming out with steaks all over her.
you know, yeah.
The meat dress.
The meat dress, you know.
Yeah.
Like, imagine me walking in here
Yeah.
with sausages all over me jacket.
Superman suit.
No, it's sausages.
Go on, a Superman suit.
I'll get it. Superman. But, you know, there is. And
I like him in a Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And in the street.
We cannot go on without talking about Sam Smith.
No, don't drag me down that road. No,
what he-
Paddy, no.
what he is
I don't
coming
even
out.
watch the news, no.
Yeah, what he is coming out with some of the things. But it, as you say, it'll probably, as they say in Dundalk, it'll peter out and it'll come as a singer, not as a bin bag.
I tell you, you'd be happy that Manchester was going to be called Demchester.
No, nothing against Manchester.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of things. There was even someone said that Mother's Day is not going to be called Mother's Day or Father's Day. It's going to be called Parents' Day.
Can you imagine the Irish women with that one? No.
Not going to
Listen,
play.
That's not, they're not going to get
I
away with
think
that.
that Mother's Day and Father's Day gives the kids a chance to pay back what they got to loan them. But, you know, I think it's great.
Here's a question.
Oh, fair.
Because the Perrys are both musicians, and you'd probably be more technically like reading music, that kind
Yeah.
of thing, and Paddy, you'd do it by ear.
Yeah.
Do you find that it's hard to switch off if you're listening to something?
Oh, stop the lights. I'm dissecting everything.
Yeah.
And there's times after gigging all weekend, I can't even listen to the radio because, you know, with the music, I'll be dissecting the bass line, the drums, what harmony is that?
Yeah.
Do you know?
You do, you pick up. And you pick up on, like when I was saying to you, Islands in the Stream, a girl came up and I said, look, you need two people to sing that. But on a Saturday night when I'm playing, someone might shout up a song and I say, I don't do that one.
Yeah.
But I guarantee I'll have it for the next week.
Oh, yeah.
But it's in my head the whole time. Even when I'm laying in bed.
Yeah. That was a great question. That was a great question.
It is.
We don't get asked that question enough, actually.
You don't really get switched off from music. But I think in a sense, we listen to a song, but we're deciphering it.
Yeah.
Even sometimes if you're watching something on the telly and there's good music on in the background, you don't see what happens on the film because you're just zoning into.
To be honest, sometimes I'll be watching a movie or a TV show and the music in the background's more interesting. And I'm more tuned into that.
Yeah.
I've Shazam it. What's this?
So what's this? Yeah.
There's a lot of people do that, and as you see, you're breaking. And I was with a show band in Dublin, and they used to say, decipher that bass line, and you listen. I don't know how we do it, but you listen. The song is playing, but you're working out that line. All you can hear the main thing going on, but you can hear the line that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's very, very easy to do it. And then I used to do is when I needed, if it was a very complicated bass line, if I had to get it off or something, I would play it in the bedroom above my head.
Okay.
I play the song a wee bit loud. And all you hear is the bass line.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's a great
very
idea.
Smart. Yeah.
And I used to be there.
Yeah.
And then the kids are saying, hey, we can't sleep. You've been a minute.
Yeah.
Be worse than your granny coming into the accordion at 3
in the morning. Yeah.
But it's all, and then as you know, you go home from gig and it takes you at least an hour and a half to come down.
To wind down, yeah.
You can't go straight to bed.
No.
Now, can you listen to, is there ever a time where a song you've played it enough or you've heard it enough, I can't listen to it anymore?
Plenty of times in the car, a song come on the radio, I just turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, probably still gig it because it's a great one to fill the floor, or you know what I mean. It's a great song for the gig, but there's plenty of times I can't listen to it.
Well, it's the same in the Long Riders, and I hope the two are watching it. Every time the shout over, must thank Sally, and I said no, and it's and after I stop crying, I say, look, when we do something else, it's a great song, but it just pulls it out of you.
Do you know what? I understand why people love Adele, someone like you. I understand why people love that song. But you know when the floor is full and everybody's there dancing, somebody comes over and goes, Mary, will you sing Adele, someone like you? I'd be like, no, I just can't. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like, you know, and it is a great song, but it brings me right down. Because obviously you have to zone into the song when you're trying to carry it across. Yeah. And it does, that song just brings me right down. Like, wow. And then, fair play to it, it's a great song. Don't get me wrong.
Did you ever notice when you're sitting at home and you're thinking, I'm on Saturday night, I have a great selection here with the tracks, and you say, right, I'll do that 4 in a row to keep them on the floor. And then when you get here, you do 4 other ones.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's totally different, isn't it? Yeah, the best rehearsal is the gig, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, the gig is the rehearsal. Yeah. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
And
it depends too, like, because when you're walking in the door, it depends on who's in your audience too. You know, it could be totally different than what you had in your head.
That's another thing you have to learn, is to read your audience.
Yeah.
No, tomorrow I have to read. I don't have to read my audience because I have to play at a thing, and it's in a nursing home. You do a lot of nursing homes.
That's my favourite gig.
Yeah,
my favourite gig.
It's brilliant.
I am telling you now, they remember every word of every song. The first time I went out to the nursing home, and there was this woman, and I swear to God, she sang all the backing vocals to Tina Turner, and I knew, I said, this woman must have gigged.
Yeah.
And the next time I was there, she comes in, she was after getting the hair done, she had the diamond earrings on and the red lipstick. She was ready for her gig. So I gave her a mic and she sang with me for the whole hour. And she never missed and never went out tune. Never missed a word, never went out tune. Actually, there was times I was going, oh crap, they had the right words. She was like, she was more in tune with what was going on than I was. I tell you,
that
do my
goes back to
heart.
one of the quotes you usually have, Paddy, is music is the best time machine kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
It can reset your brain 20, 30,
Yeah.
40, 50 years.
Well, they say that people with Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
that, you know, they're talking about years ago now, they can't remember anything around this time or whatever.
Yeah.
But to say if you play music from that era,
Yeah.
they just settle down and listen.
Well, my uncle Vincent, he had dementia. He died of dementia, but he was a fantastic traditional fiddle player. He's from the Glenties in Donegal, and him and his brother Jimmy, they actually went over to Scotland years ago, and they brought Irish traditional music filing techniques to Scotland, and then the people in Scotland showed them techniques, and they combined the two techniques together and brought them back. There's a whole YouTube documentary on it. They combined the two techniques together and brought it back. So then they did this thing every year where Ireland and Scotland did. But he used to be on TG4 and everything, and even when he had the dementia, like as you said, simple things like he might forget where the toilet was in the local pub, but when he was on TG4 he played every note to T, and when they asked him questions he answered them back as Gaeilge. Do you know, not a bother on him. He was still well able for his show. He never missed. It
is, and there is a few things you've probably seen the videos of a lady. She was a ballerina,
right?
And they showed on YouTube of her dancing when she was young in whatever it was, Swan Lake, but she's just sitting on a wheelchair,
right?
And they put the camera on her and they play the music. She done the exact movements,
no way,
apart from just on her hands. And then there was another guy that a piano in front of him, and he dementia. And as soon as they played a song, his hands went on the piano and played it.
Oh, God.
And then there was another one in particular of this guy that his father didn't even know him. And he took him out for a spin one day. And while they were driving, there was a camera in the front of the car.
Yeah.
And he played a backing track and he started singing. And the father just... Now, the father was very quiet during his Alzheimer's. Yeah. But as soon as he put on the tape and he started singing the song, the father joined in and they sang the whole song. You know, it's music is it lifts something in you.
I tell you, I come out of that gig from the nursing home and I just feel $1 million.
You do. It's great. You know.
You know, and everybody says, "Oh, you're great, good." No, it's actually I'm selfish because I feel so good after.
Yeah, you do.
And that's the truth. Yeah. And I know if that never happens, Paddy, he'd be well looked after.
I'll be in the front row, me and Joe Duffy.
No, I was saying if that never happens to me, like, you know what I mean?
and Alvaro and Sean.
And the staff are brilliant out there, like, as well.
Now, here's a coincidence for you. Not last Thursday before I went out to St. Francis Nursing Home, and they're all in, and I'm up in a bay window, and I just have one speaker, a small speaker, with a guitar and a microphone in. So I brought my backing tracks because I knew a few old ones.
Yeah.
And played it, and it was great. I only played about an hour and a half. It was fantastic. Yeah. But then last Saturday night, I was here in the Viper Room, and just over here was all the carers.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It was brilliant, you know. So they were sort of having a great time. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to going out tomorrow again, because people think that we charge for this sort of thing. We don't. No. We give it back. Like we've been here and all this, and it's great to be able to use what you have to give to someone that will make someone smile.
Ask career, like, even, you know, all generations. Like, I was backing up kids doing their Leaving Cert practicals during the week on the piano, and they don't realise how good they are. Yeah. And they're so nervous going in, and just to give them a bit of love and encouragement, because it's really brave of them to do, you know, especially like if it's not an instrument and they're just singing or whatever, you know, and I don't mean just singing, obviously singing in the voice, but they feel like a little bit out of the loop, and there's a lot of singers and they're so brave, and just to give them the love and encouragement and tell them how great they are for just doing it. Yeah, it just is. For doing it. It is, you know. Great.
I remember,
but you have to nurture. I think every generation needs nurturing when it comes to music, because it's like, it's the inside of your soul. Yeah. Coming out, like you're bearing it to the whole world.
I know, but people would say, I haven't a note in my head. And I said, can you whistle? He says, yeah. And I said, hey.
There you go.
You know.
Yeah, you're right. I always say that.
I remember years ago when we started the Long Riders as a joke. We were all from different bands. And we used to have... joke. We always had a bit of fun. I remember in particular 2 young boys. They would come in with their mother and they'd stare us.
Yeah.
And we were playing. And those 2 young boys now are playing in bars.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah, and doing fantastic. I won't mention their name, they get a big head. But
no, that's brilliant. But even there's musicians in Drogheda that you helped out. They said to me, remember when I was coming in here to you, I was going down to Paddy, I'm like, oh, fair play to Paddy, he always helped us out with the disc, or he helped us out with something. But you're the same as myself, you'd be encouraging young people. Lads starting out and helping
you know what I love about it, and I keep mentioning it every time when you're here, the morning show, just that section, you know, it's called 3 Minutes of Fame. You know, your song is on the radio. Yeah. And as I said to Paddy Goodwin who was here, it's not, you can take your CD and put it into your car or put it in at home and listen to it. Yeah. But when someone comes along, it doesn't matter who it is, on the radio and says, this is Mary Gantley. Mary is a fantastic album. It's a beautiful song. You can download this album, but here's one track. Yeah. And then you're going, that's, you know, it's...
But even that, my father in the kitchen, when we're listening to it, he'd just be delighted. Yeah, you know, delighted. Proud. Just delighted.
Yeah, I remember. Now, my father was a musician. Unfortunately, he's gone a few years now. But you know, I'm sure that he's proud of all his sons that have played in bands.
Well, I believe in my angels big time, and they're with you. I think they're with you all the time. I think they're with you all the time.
And I had the privilege, St. Patrick's Night.
Right.
My son, my youngest son, who's 32.
Yeah.
My youngest son is a great drummer.
Yeah.
But he played with one, you know, these young bands coming up and writing their own stuff, and then all of a sudden they get one gig and nobody asked them to come back because they were original. Yeah. So he's playing away, great drumming, and he sent me a message. He says, I'm standing with a band on St. Patrick's Day. All right. I said, oh, great. So he came down to the house. Of course, his drums were still in the house and he'd got them all ready. And I played in a pub, and then I went over. They played in the Rum House here next door. Right. Then they played in McAllister's that night. Right. So when I was finished, I went over and I was blown away. Blown away by the band.
I've seen the video you put up. They were brilliant.
Blown away by the band and his drumming. You know, I couldn't believe that I said, I knew he was good, but I didn't think he was that good.
You know what I mean?
He's with the band now, you know, and it's great to see him out there. And it's great
getting out
that I'm sure my father seen myself and my brothers or my sisters doing what...
You know how your dad felt.
How he felt. And I feel the same. My son is drumming. My son in Texas is a great guitar player. My middle son does videos now. Oh. You know, and it's something that it's all in the entertainment,
isn't it? It is. It's all in the arts.
Like as I say, if we were plumbers, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
No,
I'd probably be fixing the sink in the toilet.
You're a pair of wellies trying to keep your feet dry.
Yeah.
I'm conscious here at time. Yeah. I can edit this out. What time do you have to be out of here?
Well, what time is it now?
It's 3:20.
You talk the hind legs off a donkey.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that there? I think you swallowed a gramophone needle.
Oh.
But listen, Mary, we've come to the very end.
Right. It's
always a pleasure to have a sit here and have a chat. We always, when you're on the radio show, we always have a chat off mic. It's always great fun.
We'd have good banter.
Yeah, it's always good banter. And then we go for the breakfast.
And say what you really think.
Let it go then. But listen, I want to wish you all success in your music career, because I know it'll do very well, especially in your, and well deserved. You can see it there, well deserved award, because you are a very, very fine singer and a very, very talented musician and a lovely lady.
I'm all right.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Elsa says. And,
Do I need to put another 20 quid in that?
And no, it is, and it was great to be great to be a friend of yours.
Same.
You know, because we always had a good laugh and things.
That's it. And you were buddies now.
Gosh, we are all buddies, bosom buddies.
There you go.
As they say. So listen, that is it from the Salvation Show. I want to thank Mary again.
Thanks for having me, and thanks, Chris.
Yeah, and thank Chris. Chris is our producer and giving us a few questions when we get stuck.
I think Chris has a great voice for the radio.
Oh, he has. He does a few ads.
Does he?
Yeah, Chris actually works on the radio.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
Chris,
we could up that. Could we
Chris is the
upscale
weekend
that?
manager in
We could
Dundalk.
upscale that now
To full manager. And then I get back, taking out of retirement. Well, listen, Mary, success in your music.
Well,
career.
happiness, isn't that? It just once you're happy doing what you're doing and you keep loving it.
Yeah.
As I said to Chris when I come in, everything was going really well now. But if that all changed, it doesn't matter because I'm happy with what I do.
You have memories.
And I love what I do anyway. And I'll always do something with music anyway.
And it'll always be, it's the same as myself. If you're sitting and you're bored, you go into the other room and play.
Come here, I'll tell you, Paddy Mac, look at you, the Viper Room residency, and this pub is always hopping every Saturday night. You're some boy.
Yeah.
He's some boy.
At 27.
At 27.
Mentally.
Good way to be.
Oh, it is. But it's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, that is what's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, you're going out.
That's what I'm saying. Like being like good at something, it's not just about being the most talented, which is because everybody's different with music, isn't it? All music is different. You're never done learning about music. Like you can never say, I could never say like, God, that was perfect, because there is no such thing. Because everybody listens to things in a different way. But a lot about it is how you get on with people, what kind of grafter you are.
Yeah.
You know, your personality.
Well, the personality is the main thing,
isn't it? And it's not just about being good at the art. It's all these things.
Yeah, but the main thing is that when you're in a bar, or in a concert or whatever, there's people coming to see you to forget about their troubles for 2 hours.
That's it.
And you have to make them remember something else. I know the troubles are still going to be there in the morning, but at least to give them a bit of respite.
Exactly. And let's not forget, there's plenty of times I've walked into a gig with stuff on my mind, pretending everything was okay. But realistically, 2 or 3 songs in, I was okay.
Yeah. Oh,
so it's both.
Yeah,
it's
I
both.
remember saying in the band years ago was...
Sorry, I thought I want to see if that real.
Oh, it is, yeah. It's real plastic.
Miami.
But I remember in the bands years ago when we were playing, and you know, you had a bit of a sore tooth or something. You're going,
oh yeah,
looking forward to the night, and you're going like this and that. And
sore tooth was the least of your voice.
I remember the band leader saying, "Well, I tell you, they've paid money in to see you. They don't care what's wrong with you.
They don't.
They're in to see you."
And you know what? The Dubs are great. They were great when I was younger for like knocking stuff like that out of you.
Yeah.
You know, Mary, leave your troubles at the door.
Yeah.
Come in here and everything. It's that kind of, Mary, it's not Oprah. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? When you were younger, they were great at knocking any of that out of you.
And then when you're tipping away at your piano or guitar, you say, hey, do your practicing at home.
Yeah. We didn't come to see a comedian. Stop talking.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I didn't know you were a comedian.
Are you here to entertain or educate? yeah.
Oh, that's some great.
Yeah, that's great crack. Anyway, we better hit the road.
Anyway,
listen,
Mary.
See what I mean? He talked the hind legs off.
Mary Gantley, well-known singer-songwriter and a lovely lady. Good luck with your EP and good luck with your album.
Thank you. See you soon.
And your TV show.
Oh, the TV show.
And your award.
And your words.
And your bottle of water.
That's empty.
Everything. Have a nice day.
Mind yourself, Paddy. Thanks for having me.